Hello runners, this is Coach Bala here. How are you guys? Welcome to the end of the first week of MISO 1. What an achievement. Many of you would have completed already 3 full weeks of training. That is 21 days. And those of you who saw my last message, if you have crossed this 21-day milestone, that means a habit has already started forming. So you have made the first major advance towards having a successful season 12. Congratulations. But before I talk about anything more for this weekend message, I just wanted to let you guys know I am in the peak of Whistler Mountains in Canada, and some say that this is North America's best kept secret, and I totally agree with you, with that person, because this is like a Switzerland of North America. So why don't you just slowly pan around and just see where we are. Look at this beauty. Just look at this beauty. This is where we are today. A lot of people come here for a trail. We just come in a gondola. That winch, it's one of those winches, and there are multiple winches, and that's the high point of that. What you're seeing, that is the Sky Bridge, which in another hour or so it will open, and we'll take a winch right up to the top, and you can actually see that beautiful Sky Bridge, and that's one of the winches. So yeah, this whole place is very accessible, and it's just an absolutely beautiful place. I strongly encourage anyone who wants to take a short vacation, maybe a 1-week trip, come to Vancouver. From there you drive to this place and you can spend a good 3-4 days. Very beautiful, very nice city. So that's what it is. That's a summer making run fun plan. You can do that too. But for today, what I wanted to talk about a couple of points. First one is, let's double click a little bit more on this conversational pace running that we had talked about. So the conversational pace running is, as I said, a pace where you are able to hold a conversation when you are running or jogging. Now, why that is important is that forms the 80% of the runs that we will be doing, irrespective of what segment you are in. Pretty much that is the base builder. Think of it as like a pyramid, and the top part of that pyramid is your race day performance, and the higher that apex of that pyramid, the better is your race day performance. Let's assume that's what is our goal. So for the pyramid to reach higher and higher, or that apex to reach higher and higher, you need to have a much larger base for it to be stable and steady. So if you have a large base, then you can start building that pyramid up, and which is what we are doing. The base of your training is that CP run, the base run, which we call it, where you day in and day out, you come in, run at a comfortable pace, run in an aerobic zone, and get into this habit of doing it on a regular basis. And when you do that, your base is broad and strong. The base, the aerobic base, metamorphically calling it like the base of that pyramid, is strong. When you have a very strong aerobic base, then the body is ready to power you and power your run for longer distances, faster timings, and prevent injuries and everything else like that. So that's why we focus on that, and you also do the same. The one learning I want to tell you is, when we ask you to do a base run, it's a common tendency to do much faster than a base run. I don't know, there is this human thing that if you run faster, you get trained for faster runs. Unfortunately, that's not the case. You have to run slow to run faster later. So keep that in mind. As long as you are not in conversational pace, you are not building the base. That's really how you should be thinking. So start focusing on building that strong base for the next 6-7 weeks as we slowly ramp up, and then we can start building that pyramid up. So that's my point number 1. Conversational pace is everything. Nailing it is everything. My second point is, I wanted to also start giving a color on what is it that is happening in your training right now. So, some people have asked me, hey Bala, how is it that I've never run before and I sign up for this 16-week program, knowing fully well that, man, this is going to be a disaster. I've never done this before. And somehow something happens, and magically after 16 weeks, I'm able to do whatever distance I thought was impossible when I signed up. What happened really? And I'm telling you, this is not a one-off scenario. this experience that I just said, which is you start off thinking you can't do it, and end of 16 week you feel you're able to do it. And we have seen it again and again. This story plays out. Now, what is so special about that? Why is it that you're able to do that? The reason is there is something called as an inside out transformation that is taking place in your body and mind as we do this 16-week program. Now, the 16-week program is not just some random collection of runs that you're doing. It is a structured scientific program that we have developed with our knowledge, with our experience, with what we have been taught in our coaching courses. All of this comes together and we create this 16-week program. Now, in the 16-week program, it essentially acts to try to get an inside-out transformation, what I was telling you. So really, what really happens here is this training can be said as cardiovascular, musculo-skeletal, mental strength training. That's really what this training is about. Cardio, heart; vascular, blood vessels; musculo, muscles; skeletal, bones and joints; mental strength is mental strength. So all these 5 elements are acting, and slowly we are enhancing our potential in all of these 5 different pillars. Now, cardio. So initially, just imagine that before the training, every pump of your heart maybe dished out 100 units of blood. Now, as you train better, as you keep consistent training, what happens really is that your own heart is getting better and more efficient, and it starts pumping 100, 150, 180 units of blood for the same amount of pumping. Or in other words, your body is able to cater to much higher demand. Your heart is able to cater to much higher demand without even, getting, should I say, overloaded. So this act of your heart able to take on more load essentially is what you see as you are able to run longer distance or much faster, which is one thing that happens in the cardio strength. Now let's talk about vascular, which is the blood circulation. Now, as you keep doing this run on a consistent manner, 2 beautiful things happen. That's the power of our body. One, more blood vessels are getting created, or in other words, more blood is passed to various corners of the body that heretofore it did not get blood, or it wasn't activated. So as more blood vessels gets created, more muscles get activated. Secondly, there are various extremities where blood vessels are there, but there was no need for blood to pass through that blood vessel, so it was sort of shut down. That was like that road was shut down. But as you start running, body is realizing that let me start opening up these pathways that is already existing, but blood was not flowing there, and now it starts flowing. Or in other words, your vascular system is getting a lot better in providing blood to various corners of the body. So your heart is getting better, it's pumping more. Now your blood is finding its way to lot more regions, lot more muscular fibers that are required in the body. So your muscles are getting enriched and nourished. On the muscular side, as you train, more and more muscle fibers are created. So let's assume that at the start of the season you had 100 muscle fibers. By now in meso 1, you probably have 120 muscle fibers in your body. By end of meso 4, you probably have 250 muscle fibers. Or in other words, more muscles are being created to support your running. And finally, the joints. Your joints are getting stronger, so you can take a lot more load. So when you combine all these things, a more powerful heart, a much better cardiovascular system providing blood to every corner of your body, a lot more muscles, stronger joints, all these things powers your run. So the same 3 miles that you were struggling to run, let's say in meso 1, by the time you get to meso 3, 3 miles will be a relaxation run for you because your body has developed. And then on top of that is the mental strength. What's a beautiful thing, we'll have a separate message for that. But in short, what happens is as you keep doing more and more, your mental benchmark increases. So your body thinks, hey, I did 2 miles, so 1 mile is easy. 3 weeks later, you say, yeah, I did 5 miles, so 3 miles is easy. Or in other words, you're mentally getting stronger to execute on these long runs. The summation of all of this is what is that magical inside out transformation that each and every runner feels and faces and experiences during the 16-week program, cardiovascular, musculo, skeletal, mental strength training. That's really what it is, guys. So in summary for today, enjoy your summer vacation like what I'm doing right now. Think about the runs. 21 days you're completed, habit is already forming. Commitment and consistency is our first pillar, and when you are committed, when you are consistent, there is an inside out transformation that is taking place in your body without you realizing, and this powers many more amazing achievements in this wonderful running journey. So thank you, folks. Thanks for listening. Continue the runs, continue the training. I'll see you guys shortly. Take care.